Tonight on the Black Channel, can someone tell me what in the Washington wife swap hell is going on here? The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media. This is the Black Channel. I am the Black Authority, and you are listening live to the only historically black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, you know, this is one of these things we have to remind people about here. Folks, you have a government run by sexual perverts and deviants. They are the most motivated people because they want to change the law so that they can freely exercise their perversions without being socially stigmatized or legally prosecuted. We've known this for quite some time now, and they used to at least hide it a little bit better. But the State of the Union address, there's just so much I need to be talking about this week. And the State of the Union address, boy, I'm telling you, when I saw this, I said, excuse me, what's going on here? All you Kamala Harris supporters, all you ski-wee weirdos, right now at this point here, you just going to have to come out and just say, hey, look, Jason, I'm in favor of incest, pedophilia, whatever it is. I don't care. You're just going to have to come out and say that's what you are. Because you don't have any way of being able to defend this. You don't have a way of being able to defend this. State of the Union address. While Biden and friends are going to start babbling, this is what was going on. There's Joe Biden's wife, and there's Kamala Harris's husband. And, well, let the video incriminate. I mean, boy, see the way he's holding that hand and got the arm around her and everything? Boy, I'm telling you. You all tell me, this is legit? All you Kamala Harris supporters, this is legit now, right? So your husband can do this, right? Your husband can do this, right? This is legit. So all you Kamala Harris supporters, your husband can do this too, right? There's nothing to it. Ain't no big deal. Nothing wrong. Hey, this is cool. Ain't nothing off code. Nothing crazy going on here. So you're giving your husband permission to do this too, right? How are you going to defend this and you don't defend this with your husband? Oh, you Kamala Harris ski-wee supporters. No. You got to give your husband a pass. He's saying, hey, I was just saying hello to some friends. Let me slobber down. I was just saying hello to some friends. Don't you know how many fellas right now like, hey, you can't file for no damn divorce. I was just saying hello to her old girl. Yeah, she one of my co-workers. She one of my co-workers. She been helping me out with a few things. Yeah, she been real helpful with a few things here. I mean, they used to hide it. Now they're like, we ain't got to do that no more. Ain't got to do that no more. We just out here with it. And then it really just makes you wonder about some of these laws that you see. About this push to sexualize your children. About this push to indoctrinate and groom your children. You see something like this, and then you realize, I'll be damned, these are the exact same people who want to make all kinds of laws to make it okay to sexualize and sexually approach Your children. At these school board meetings, these drag queen shows, these are the people who want to institutionalize and are trying to institutionalize sexualizing your children. And what they're letting you know is, hey, we going full-blown Caligula. We doing that now. Ain't no reason to hide it. We going full-blown Caligula now. It's just out there. We done come a long way from Bill and Hillary Clinton. Now, haven't we? That was downright tame compared to what's going on now. Where's Kamala Harris to explain this? By the way, let me tell you something. This picture right here, this confirms that she's not going to run for president. Not now, not ever. She's not going to run for president. Not now and not ever. This picture right here lets you know, oh, that's never going to occur. Because you see, if she sits down for an interview, she gonna have to explain this. And there ain't no way to explain it. There really isn't. There really isn't. No, this is not just that he kissed her on the mouth. It's during the damn State of the Union. They couldn't contain themselves. This is during the damn State of the Union. I mean, if this is not, at best, this is a wife swap. At worst, this is cucking this dude, cucking Joe Biden. At worst, this is Doug Emhoff letting the world know, yeah, I'm tag teaming both these old broads. Is Emhoff letting it be known I'm tag teaming both of them? Think about that for a few moments. Now, there was a guy who tried to jump up on my page. There was a guy who tried to get on my page, white fella, talking about, this is normal in the Jewish tradition. This is normal among Jewish people. First of all, I've seen a lot of synagogues. I haven't seen folk kissing each other on the mouth like that. I haven't seen this. I know a few Jewish people. I ain't seen this. I haven't seen this. But you know what? Even if I grant him that, my response is, so are you trying to say that Jill Biden and Kamala Harris are Jewish? Is that what you're trying to say? Are you trying to say that Jill Biden and Kamala Harris are Jewish? Well, Doug Emhoff, excuse me, that's not incumbent on them. Could y'all imagine that? To the ladies, to the women listening to me right now. So if your man told you that he was kissing, you see him kissing his female manager at work, or one of his female co-workers, he kisses her on the mouth and he tells you, oh, baby, it's all right, she Jewish. To the ladies listening, so if your husband, your boyfriend, you see him walking out of work, he kisses one of his female co-workers on the mouth and he tells you, baby, calm down, she Jewish. It's all right, she's Jewish. It's cool. It's cool. Think about that for a few moments. I want to know how many ladies here are going to give their man a pass. Oh, well, you didn't tell me she was Jewish. You didn't tell me he was Jewish. She was Jewish. Oh, but now that you said she's Jewish, hey, what I'm talking about, by the way, everybody who identifies as Jewish ain't necessarily Caucasian, blonde hair, blue eyed. You got some mixed chicks out there who identify as Jewish. You got some mixed chicks. You got some Meghan Markles. You got some Meghan Markles. So is it okay if your man is kissing Meghan Markle on the mouth? Hey, she's Jewish. Baby, calm down. It's the year 2023, baby. She's Jewish. It's cool. It's cool. She Jewish. Calm down. It is what it is. Calm down. All right, fine. Show of hands in the chat room. If you all believe that it is okay for your husband or wife, your girlfriend or boyfriend to kiss another person on the mouth if that other person is Jewish, you see your girlfriend kissing this dude on the mouth and she tells you, man, look here, Jamal, he's Jewish. If you say, oh, well, that's okay, Jason, look, you're making too much of it. Your mind's in the gutter. It's perfectly fine. If you think that's okay, give me the thumbs up emoji. Give me the thumbs up emoji. If you say hell to the no, give me the prohibited emoji, the circle with the line through it. Give me the prohibited emoji. If you say hell no, give me the prohibited emoji, the circle with the line through it. If you say it's okay, General Locks gave a thumbs up. So when the phone lines open, General Locks is going to need to call in. General Locks gave a thumbs up. So when the phone lines open, he can call in and explain to us. He can let us know something we don't know, apparently. Okay, it doesn't seem too many of y'all are supporting it. By the way, hit the likes button for me. Got over 2,000 people here tonight who are not sitting there watching those stupid-ass Super Bowl game. Hit the likes button for me. Hit the likes button. Folks, these are the people running the damn government. These are the people running the government. These are the people setting public policy. These are the folks who want to tell your children and teach your children about sexuality from the age of 4 without your consent. These are the people who want to indoctrinate and teach your children without your consent. These are the folks. Y'all thought the TV show Scandal was bad. Welcome to real damn life. And I got to ask some questions. To all the Kamala Harris supporters, I got to ask some questions. Because I'm asking right now, you know that we here in the black media have been on her bumper since before she was running for president. I had the first video that hit big about that, but when she was trying to run for president. About why Kamala Harris cannot get the black vote, and it broke down exactly the way I said it would. And she couldn't get the black vote. But there were questions about that. Because after she couldn't get the black vote, she gets chosen to be vice president. And you got to ask questions. How can that be? And I got a question for all of you all right now. What is the sorority that Kamala Harris is a member of? Chat room. Can the chat room give me the name of the sorority that Kamala Harris is a member of? I can't remember off the top of my head which one it is. But which sorority is Kamala Harris a member of? Which one? Oh, the AKAs? The AKAs. Y'all know AKA got a rep. When you talk about them sororities and whatnot, AKA is at the top of the food chain, got a rep. They got a rep out this damn world. I am not making it up. They got a rep out of this damn world. Y'all got to understand that. There'll be some folks who don't like that. Jason, you making that up. Jason, you don't know what you talking about. Jason, the They good people there. The AKs. The AKs. The AKs are great folk there. The AKs. The AKs. You mean these AKs? You mean them? How many of y'all remember that? I just want to make sure I ain't got the wrong ones. Make sure I ain't got the wrong one. Remember that? Here's another picture of the young lady. Remember that? Oh, wait a minute. Are those the same AKs? Everybody remind me now. My memory might be slipping me. Are these the same AKs? Is this the same Alpha Kappa Alpha? Is this the same one, everybody? Tell me if I got it wrong, call me on it. Call me on it. If I got it wrong, call me on it. I just want to know if I'm messing up and if I got it wrong. So if I do, I'm counting on you all to go ahead and let me know if I got it wrong or not. All right. Yeah, you said she's even repping pink in her mugshot. Hey, faux life. Faux life or life sentence. Faux life or life sentence. Yeah, I thought that was the same AK. I thought that was the same AK. I wasn't 100% certain, but I thought those were the same AKs. And what I'm saying right now is the Kamala Harris supporters got a lot of damn explaining to do. Y'all have a lot of explaining to do because we've been calling this out for a minute. This right here on your screen. This is what it means to be a Kamala Harris supporter. Whether she was getting down with Willie Brown or anybody else to make her bones. Remember, Monique Presley on Twitter she cussed me out and called me all kinds of names and told me that it didn't matter. Remember Monique Presley told me it didn't matter if Kamala Harris slept her way to the attorney general or Senate position. Remember? She sat there right there on Twitter, you all remember, and told me on Twitter, it don't matter. Now, I'm an awful, vile individual, and it doesn't matter. So line on up and get you a piece of one of these sororities. Everybody else has had a piece of them. You might as well go ahead and get the crumb that's left. You might as well grab the crumb that's left. And then the next thing about this Jill Biden. Next thing about Jill Biden here. So Joe Biden used to take showers with his daughter. Yikes. Am I wrong? Am I wrong for pointing that out? So Joe Biden used to jump in the bathtub with his damn daughter. She said it, not me. Jill Biden said, oh, well, that shouldn't stop us from getting married. Now you look up all these damn years later, and this is Jill Biden's get down. That's old news, folks. You can go Google it. It's old news. It's old news, but yeah, folks, like I say, this is the way they live. This is the way they live. And I'm trying to find me a Ski-Wee supporter tonight. Where y'all at? I'm looking for a Ski-Wee supporter to explain this bull jivery to me. I'm looking for a Ski-Wee supporter to explain this bull jivery to me. Because I don't get it. I don't get it. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the telephone lines here. I'm going to go ahead and open up the telephone lines and you all can call and explain to me. Folks, Is this the way? Because she married this man. Kamala Harris married this dude. I'm going to open up the phone lines so y'all can let us know tonight. Is this the way that Kamala Harris and the AKs and the female boule get down? Is this the way that the boule gets down? That this is what you got to be? I want you all to go ahead and give me a call about that. The telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the blackest radio program in existence, the only one of its kind on planet Earth today. As always, you are welcome to join us. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. Before we do, I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody, who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. So big shout out here to Amin Tatana, Mona1835, and my man Burn Rubber. Thank you very much for dropping the C note in the chat for Burn Rubber here. Please keep in mind that YouTube and Google keep 1/3 of every dollar that you send on Super Chat. So out of that $100, YouTube is going to keep 33 of it. So you might want to consider at your leisure. You're not required, but you might want to consider using Cash App or PayPal instead. But I thank you regardless for your support. We're going to go ahead and take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. This is The Black Channel.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. My name is Joe Jackson. I'm a foundational Black American, and I entered the field of IT with the goal of helping the family globally. The industry's been changing, and I've learned a lot. But how did we get here? How do we navigate issues we face in the workplace? How can we get our house in order? Read The Concept and Intricacies of Being Black in IT, now on Amazon, as well as the best-selling Guide to Being Black in IT. Go to beingblackInIT.com.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Natural Body Butter with skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Higher Life Recruiting and Consulting specializes in direct placement. If your company is looking to hire top talent, or you are looking to start a new career, our network of professional recruiters can help. We provide recruiting, LinkedIn lead generation, access to our professional network, paid job postings, interviewing, and more. Check out our specialized services: information technology recruiting, STEM career consulting, sales recruiting, hiring process consulting for your business, resume writing, LinkedIn profile consultation. Follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn and get higher with us.
D23 Lives can help you find your flow. Revolutionizing healthcare to self-care. D23, making a healthier
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is The Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. And the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933, your personal access code to the Black media. And I just wanted to give a brief reminder here. When you talk about priorities, when you see Jill Biden and Kamala Harris's husband so brazen in public and see the black female next to them with equal amounts of awe and cringe. By the way, the sisters next to them equally like, okay, I don't know if this is right. It's not. But I want you to remember one thing about government policy and government priorities. They have not issued a pardon to the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. They have not prosecuted any of these killer cops. George Zimmerman is still roaming the countryside. Emmett Till's killer is still cooling her decrepit old heels in a nursing home. Those are not priorities. Indoctrinating your children, grooming your children to be taken sexual advantage of by adults, that is their priority. And then you see things like this and you realize this is what you got in your government. While you sitting there talking about Ski Wee and Chuck Taylors, and you're telling me that all you Kamala Harris supporters, so this is legit now, right? This is legit. Damn everything else we talking about, this here is legit. This is the agenda. Everybody having sexual access to whatever sick, upside down, Wheaties perversion you can think of. That's cool. But everything else, we ain't doing none of that. However, I'm opening up the telephone lines, and I would like for folks to explain to me, is this the way the boule gets down? Is this the way the female boule gets down? That this is the way you got to be? If you're going to be one of them, this is how it's got to be. When they say put some skin in the game, they wasn't bull jiving. They meant put some skin in the game. So go ahead and give us a telephone call for that. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Let's go ahead and get a few phone calls here. Let me get caller from area code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Big Brother Jason. This is Brother Elijah calling out of Brooklyn, New York.
All right, Elijah, Brooklyn was on your mind.
Before I ask my question, Big Brother, thank you for tonight's broadcast and last night's broadcast. Straight fire, Big Brother. I got a question. Professor Black Truth said Donald Trump and the Republicans got to see in 2020 what happens when black people are scared. When we see things, images like this, what you're showing us tonight, why is it our people are so scared that they would rather vote for sexual deviance rather than just fight white supremacy head on? And I'm gonna land my plane there, sir.
Well, this is a brutal reality that many people are going to have to come to grips with here. I said over a decade ago that this was going to be an existential fight between the civilized and the savage. There are those of us that this ain't never been the get down. But we also got to be honest. There's a good number of folks that, the whorehouse culture of the plantation, they've kind of passed that down from generation to generation. Yes, sir. So while the rest of us haven't been cool with that, there's still a certain number of folks out there, and this is the way they get down. This is the way it's always been. There's always been that uncle in the family touching on the kids. There's always been that auntie in the family, or that cousin, that female cousin in the family who been sitting up here laying up with the young boys like R. Kelly and Usher. How you think those fellas got off into that so young? They letting you know, man, look here. They was laying up with grown women when they were 13, 14 years old. Then you take a look at their attitude towards sexuality. So we've been kind of in a situation where we haven't wanted to take that kind of thing head on, because while it hasn't been the open air marketplace that you witness going on from these communities that come here from outside the U.S., it hasn't been that open air marketplace. But let's be very, very clear. In a system of white supremacy, they will cultivate that.
Yes, sir.
They're like, hey, you got a talent. We can use that.
Yes, sir.
You got a talent. We can use that. So with that being the case, just understand what you're looking at there.
Yes, sir.
We got some folks here, and this is what they've been passing down, that whorehouse culture that I've been referencing now for over a decade. And we need to come to grips with how bad it is. We need to come to grips with how bad it is, because the only thing that we can do to fix that is shine some sunlight on it.
Yes, sir.
That's important. The only thing we can do to fix that is shine some sunlight on it. So right now, I want to be clear. These fraternities, see, this is something that gets, that's why I said this has been cultivated by the system itself. When you see this kind of behavior and there is a direct link between the sexual deviancy expressed by Kamala Harris and the HBCU academic system, and they want to give billions of dollars more to it. Let me repeat that again. And they want to give billions of dollars more to it. You go your HBCUs, they're not cranking out doctors, competent lawyers, competent engineers, but everybody's got some high heels and a skirt, no matter who you are at the school. That's the school uniform. Twerking and everything else is the official school dance everywhere you go. So what I'm saying is that this is cultivated by the system. This is cultivated by policy of government. This is cultivated by institutions. So even if your children, there's a reason why so many folks, their daughters are okay in middle school and high school. They send them off to these colleges and she gets straight turned out.
Yes, sir.
Y'all need to understand that. A lot of you did raise your kids right. You turn them over to them colleges. They're like, hey, we got you alone away from your parents now. We're going to make it do what it do. We got you isolated away from your parents. Now they can't get in the way. And as I warned you all over a decade ago, that when they go full steam ahead pushing this on black folk, they will not send the men to do it. They will send females to do it.
Wow.
I said that over a decade ago, that when they push this full steam ahead, they will not be sending men to do it. They'll be sending women to do it. So what you do is you get the black men out of the home through government policy. You let single motherhood become the standard. Matriarchy becomes the standard. And then next thing you know, the children are obeying whatever female is in front of them, whether it's mom, a teacher, a sorority leader, a basketball coach. And when they get your daughter off by herself in the showers, let me tell y'all something. The statistic that I've always cited has been the one that says that 25% of females have a same-sex sexual experience, same-sex encounter when they're in college. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily they get naked with another female, but I'm talking about kissing them on the lips, rubbing on each other and stuff. They have some sort of same-sex experience. Let me be clear. I have never subscribed to that number. Never.
Yes,
I believe that number is somewhere north of 50%. I have always held that number is north of 50%. If you send your daughters off to these schools, you gonna find a picture of her booed up, hugged up, with body parts touching some other chick, and they gonna tell her, oh, we all girls. See, that's the mantra of sexual deviance. We all girls. Yeah, y'all are all girls, but you ain't booze.
Yes, sir.
And you got to watch that. A lot of these women out here, a lot of you mothers and aunties say that kind of phrase to your daughters. We're all girls. No, you're not. You're a mother. She's a daughter. You're an auntie. That's your niece. We are not all girls. They girls, you women. And when an adult female desires to erase the line between women and girls, there's only one reason she wants to do that. So they get your kid off in that place, and away we go. So you're off in college, you're off in university with hundreds of or even thousands of other females, and with everybody telling you, oh, we all girls. You can't go to the damn administrators. They telling you, we all girls. What's the problem? Now, if the boys try to do something heterosexual with you, oh, we'll let you put them in jail. Did y'all get that?
Yes, sir.
Now, if the boys approach your daughter and want to do something heterosexual, why, the school will rise up in unison against him. But if the females, notice I didn't say the girls, the females at the school want to do something with your daughter and indoctrinate her and soften her up and ease her into it, oh, well, everybody's going to come together on that. The other girls, the coaches, the administrators, hell, even the deans and professors. What's the issue? They're all girls. Notice that right there. You're setting an environment. You're setting an environment where we're making it very clear what we approve of with your daughters. Now they can look all the way up to the White House. Let me tell y'all something right now. That's Kamala Harris's husband on your screen. No. Let me go ahead and do this the right way about this. Make sure y'all can see this live and in living color.
Yes, sir.
Kamala Harris's husband is sitting up here literally booed up and smooching up on Jill Biden. And I'm going to say this just like it is. So you mean to tell me that after the State of the Union address, Kamala Harris was tasting another woman?
Wow.
Oh, I ain't going to sit up here and shade the nickel. I ain't going to water it down. So what you're telling me is that after the State of the Union address, when Kamala Harris got out of the chamber with her husband, she wound up tasting another woman.
Wow.
720 degrees of the analysis you'll receive nowhere else. You ain't thought of it like that, y'all. You ain't thought of it that way. Do you think Doug went to go get some mouthwash and brush his damn teeth? Or do you think as soon as he walked out of there, he told his wife, hey, you look great, baby?
Yes, sir.
By the way, do you think Jill, I'm going to say something. Oh, I'm going into the details. Do you think that Jill Biden wears an expensive lipstick? Oh, we going there. We going there. Do you all think that Jill Biden, I mean, this is the damn president's wife. Do you think that she wears an expensive lipstick? I do.
Yes, sir.
I think she does. Well, any man who's had to buy an expensive lipstick, and I bought many for many a chick. Okay, not many a chick. There's a few who deserved it. I'm talking about the good stuff. Let me tell you right there, that don't wipe off that easy. Let me tell you, they got a specific aroma to them. Your man sits up here and smooch another broad like that. Okay, you gonna be tasting Jill Biden's lipstick. You're gonna be tasting Jill Biden's lipstick. Once that transfers to your husband, that's gonna be there for a minute. It's gonna be there for a minute. You're gonna be tasting Jill Biden's lipstick just in about an hour, Kamala. Don't worry, it'll still be fresh for you, baby. It'll still be fresh for you.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll let you have the last word.
Brother, look, thank you so much. I do have a question though. Do you with what you just described, do you believe this and the things that with the abortions, do you think that this is the cause of our numbers being a lot lower than what they should have been years ago?
Well, when
That's
you
what I
get
had to ask.
distracted, the goal should have been economic empowerment. Instead, the goal was integration, which was sexual access. Anything and everything
Yes,
that
sir.
gets your mind off of elevating yourself. Period. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Oh boy, I hope I didn't offend you all. But y'all gonna have a hard time sleeping tonight and getting that image out of your head. Yeah, those nice lipsticks have an aroma to them. They have a texture to them. They got a taste to them. Yeah. They didn't give each other a peck on the cheek neither. It was, come here, Jill. Wow. All right. Baby, welcome to Washington. All these so-called sex scandals in Washington. Welcome to Washington. This is the get down. Where I'm trying to find the ski-wee supporters tonight to tell me that this is legit and ain't no issue. Where y'all at? Call from area code 702. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Jason? This is Les from Las Vegas.
Les from Vegas. What's on your mind?
Man, Jason, these the Ketanji Brown Jacksons, the Kamala Harris, yeah, they married to white men. Serena Williams, Obama's daughters. That's how they get on, man. That's how they get on. And the white men that they choose all are part of the group that the brother Minister Farrakhan and Kanye West be talking about. Is that just a coincidence? Huh? Go do your research on their husbands. They're all part of that group. So I mean, well,
the ones you named are not everybody, but certainly the real thing is they're looking for any zaddy, sir. They don't discriminate. They're looking for any zaddy. They're not marking it down. They're not looking for. There's not a target audience they're looking for. If you're a white man, you get the royal treatment. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. They just looking for a zaddy to break it down for. I'm trying to find the Kamala Harris ski-wee supporters tonight. Where's a ski-wee supporter to call up and explain to all of us the dimension of this that we ain't getting? You know this Kamala been real damn quiet since the State of the Union, right? You know that she ain't said nothing, right? She probably sitting up there saying, who the hell was taking the video footage that night? Which network was showing this? Call area code 631. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is General Locks from Strong Island, New York, man. What's going on, TBA?
Okay, what's your name again?
General Locks.
All right, General Locks, what's on your mind?
Yeah, man, I just want to, elaborate. I made a mistake earlier. I was doing my last push-up. Got up, ran over there, anticipating. I know the end outcome of what you were going to say, so I hit the wrong button, man. I'm thinking that's disgusting what they're doing, especially two people with no lips kissing. Disgusting. I land my plane on that, brother. I'm just checking.
All right, thank you very much for giving us a call here. Let me get caller from area code 319. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
You got me right here, brother.
Caller from area code 773. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, my name is Maati, and I'm calling from Mississippi.
Okay, Maati from Mississippi. Where at Mississippi?
Jackson.
All right, what's on your mind?
Well, I was just calling in because a friend of mine told me that you were looking for family members of Emmett Till, and I know them personally, and I, in fact, talked with two of them today.
Okay. I sent you an email there to tell me what their number was, so I'm glad to hear that. If you talk to them, that's exactly what I need to know. You have their information?
I do.
Okay. Well, don't
if
give it.
you
No, don't give it
or
now. Just
someone
no,
can-
no,
I'm
don't.
not.
No,
No.
just
No.
no.
That's
Just
like, I was no. I
just
wasn't gonna
email.
discount it. No.
Just email it to me. I already responded to your email. I already responded to it.
Okay,
So
very
just
good.
just email that to me, and I'll definitely get in touch with them.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you very much for giving us a call.
Thank you.
No fuss, no muss, just that simple. Oh, I ain't forgot. Oh, I ain't forgot. Not at all. Whole bunch of devils we gonna deal with here, but oh, I ain't forgot about the unfinished business. You can get it all day, every day. We interrupt this program to bring you this ass whooping. So go ahead and get their information to me. I'll be glad to go ahead and look into that. Let me get caller from area code 803. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
LeVar Livingston from Greensboro, North Carolina.
All right, Lamar from Gainesville. What's on your mind?
Okay. All right. I'm going to say it like this. I have yet to come across any of these HBCUs where you haven't been, in order to be initiated, you haven't been slid through, rammed through, get trains ran on you, and things of that nature. Honestly, I believe that these HBCUs need to be dissolved and done away with because they do nothing good, particularly now in these days and ages when they just accept everybody. They do nothing for the black community except put targets on our backs and just offer nothing but gentrification for our neighborhoods. But I just want to put that out there that I honestly believe that if you're going to send your kids out there, send them to a trade school. Give them something that they can use forever, and that a diploma that is only viable for 10 to 15 years can't give you.
Well, you know,
I just want to put that out there.
There are some HBCUs like Hampton that I have seen that on balance are run significantly better than others. But yeah, the HBCUs right now need to justify their existence. And I'm not talking about merely their financial malfeasance. I'm not talking about merely their academic malfeasance. My point is, what is the culture at these schools? And they were more sophisticated, more disciplined 100 years ago when you didn't have electricity and proper running water. They were more sophisticated and useful then. Now, of course, I'm exaggerating a little bit about the running water, but y'all get the point. They were a lot less, technologically advanced back then, and they were a lot more useful and productive. So I suggest to you that this is about the culture of those places, and that we started out in one place, but is because of the society and establishment, what they've done is say, yeah, we're going to replace that with a gutter culture that's going to say, hey, you're here to express yourself. We put a priority on that. So next thing you know, the Joy Ann Reeds and the Kristen Clarks and Michelle Obamas and folks who will sit up here and tell you that it's Kamala Harris, it's just as important to know how to twerk as it is to get your degree and be worth a damn. No wonder so many of them come out of there, and I'm talking about the males and you got dudes coming out with BBLs and females coming out with combat boots and crew cuts, and meanwhile there's nobody competent. There's no competence. The whole point, you got all this debt after going there. You know how to twerk. Your body count went from single digits to dozens, and you are no better equipped than anything else when you came out. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller from area code 862. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, brother. This is Brother Jonathan Edwards out of Asheboro, North Carolina.
All right, Jonathan, out of Asheboro, what's on your mind?
Well, you're going down a road that I've been saying for a long time is full of potholes. That HBCU system is not producing Booker T. Washingtons anymore. When Hampton was $75 when he went through there, they serve the purpose of just keeping overseer class in place, so they produce Kamala Harris's and so forth and so on. The AKAs, in general, my experience with them, I'm a U.S. Marine. I've been in a lot of different towns, and a lot of these places are close to these HBCUs. And those HBCU, aka females, would show up at the military bases, and it would be busted wide open time for the military men. They would play with us, and then they would run back to college and act as if they didn't do what they did.
Unless they got pregnant or an STD. Unless they got pregnant or an STD,
they were looking to get pregnant.
then they got to go explain that away. So
they would be at the officer club hoping to get pregnant. They would be at the enlisted club hoping to have a good time. This whole system is at best the 13th grade. If you look at what they're producing, they're not producing any social activists. They're not producing any high-level intellectual thinkers. At best, they're producing a bunch of mid-level executives in training for white corporations so that they can go in and scuttle the unions and scuttle the worker movements inside of these corporations for their own benefits. And the few of them that are in political science and so forth are looking for the first zaddy that they can get up under to push themselves forward in the political realm. Because Kamala Harris is the prime example of that. She was down with downtown Willie Brown until it got time to start moving up the ladder. Then she started looking for something a little more Caucasian in persuasion. And this is where you end up, with an anti-intellectual society, with a bunch of anti-intellectuals barking and scraping and hollering and dancing and playing the band and
being the entertainment
and all this other nonsense.
They're performing. Yes. Now, you know, like I know, because you ain't from the deep South, but you're from the South, and the HBCUs, and we talk about the Southern Classic and Grambling versus Southern. The halftime show was bigger than the damn game. Always has been. So we've always kind of been
talk about Freaknik.
Well, we've always been encouraged to be the performers. That's how the society makes it very clear in how they reward you. When you sit up here and get a big reward, it's like, okay, if I get a degree, I'm getting 50,000, but if I perform, man, I can get 100, 200, 300. They're incentivizing that. They don't even have to tell you that this is what you need to do. By incentivizing it, it becomes very clear. So we get known for going to school, and even if you're not part of the band, you're not part of this cheerleaders or whatever, you performing anyway. So everything becomes a performance. You're there to focus on getting a degree, but you're using this as a forum to perform. And in effect, what you've done is you've neutralized the school. Now, the Latinos, I'm going to say it, Coppin State. The Latinos who come to these HBCUs, they ain't there to twerk.
Not at all.
The white kids who come to these HBCUs, they ain't there to twerk. They didn't come to do that. They didn't come to perform. They can be your homecoming queen. They can be the homecoming king. They didn't come to perform. They came to do something different.
They're not looking for access to us.
They're on serious business. They're like, hey, you know what? This school is a lot more use. This school's got more use than just dancing. This school can be useful for a lot more than just dancing. So they sit there and grab the academic accolades. They sit here and become your homecoming kings and queens or the quarterbacks. We sitting over here dancing and twerking, coming out as straight C students, and C students run the world unless you're black. When you're black, you have to excel. Something you just said there a few moments ago reminded me of something. For example, there's a reason why black men as a group don't really make it into no middle management. I was explaining this to some of our listeners here yesterday on my other program. There's a reason why black men don't make it into management. You know why? Because from day one, coming in the door, we tell you what the hell we really think. We can't really hide it long enough to get into management. We're coming in the door. We're straight arrow. If something's legit, we tell you. If it's not, we tell you. So we never get a chance to get promoted because everybody knows, hey, he one of them. He's and we've all seen the Negroes that they do promote. Herman Cain, Ben Carson, always Barack Obama, big ass grin, big ass teeth. Big ass grin, big ass teeth. You see, they testing you and me coming in the door. They want to see how big our smile is. When they realize we're courteous, we're articulate, but we ain't grinning at you. Hey, I came to do business, and I'm going to go ahead and leave and go take care of whatever else I got to take care of. But I didn't come here to politic and grin. I didn't do that. You're just thinking, hey, well, I'm within my rights. And they're like, yeah, you within your rights, and we within our rights not to promote you. Because it's very clear you're not with the program. So when you talk about that subtle mind shifting that they do at these HBCUs, that's what I'm talking about, incentivizing you. Yeah, they know how to do that. Hey, take a look at the guys who get promoted. Well, if you want to get promoted, what you gonna have to do? You're gonna have to learn how to grin. You're gonna have to be Steve Harvey. And most of us ain't cut like that and ain't built like that. So, but there's a few who will be, and those are the ones they're looking for. The Simone Sanders, the Kamala Harrises, the Barack Obamas, big ass grins, big ass teeth, big ass sellouts. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, brother, you mentioned something about they were going to send the women to do their dirty work. But if you've seen the most recent Remy Martin 1738 advertisement on this Gladiator Games football situation that's on today, they used Serena Williams to come out and advertise more alcohol to black people.
Not Maria Sharapova?
As if that's... Yes.
So Maria Sharapova...
Serena.
Is... I'm saying, though, Maria Sharapova, who it was Serena Williams, always beat like a drum. So let me get this straight. Maria gets to hawk Porsche, and Serena is pushing the damn Mini Cooper. So Serena is doing alcohol. And I'm like, okay, so is Maria ever going to get her alcohol deal and start handing out Ciroc or whatever? Dos Equis? Should we wait for that, or are they sending us a message?
Yeah, well, it's all about excellence. This is more of that black excellence push that they keep trying to push down our throats, that in order for you to be excellent at something, you got to be consuming their destructive products.
Well, no, it's about what you're describing, though, brother, is buck breaking. Well, I've called before dough breaking. You're breaking a buck, you're breaking the dough. This is buck breaking. This is humiliating you. This is degrading you. She knows full damn well when she was standing in front of that damn Mini Cooper. I'm like, so Maria's in front of Porsche and you're in front of Mini Cooper. This is a hazing. This is hazing. This is Hattie McDaniels. In the 21st century, this is Hattie McDaniels. This is a bunch of white. This is the equivalent of making the black males wear the dress. That, yeah, we know we short sheeting you, and we gonna, not only are we doing it, we're gonna make a joke of it. We're gonna make a joke of it.
Right.
And that's butt breaking.
And we're gonna use the most valuable advertising time in probably all of American television during the Super Bowl.
To lower you and degrade you, brother. That's an investment in societal control. Right now, black folk across the board are talking about reparations. You put Serena Williams out there, who's already lost her credibility, by the way, because it's not like she can really lose a lot more. She's already lost her credibility. But to the few intellectual vagrants who are still loitering on the street corners of intellectual thought or critical thinking, they gonna see that and go for it. Most of the rest of us are gonna be like, boy, do you see how the mighty have fallen? Take a look at how they've lowered.
Well,
her.
I push back on that just a little bit. I think that it's a certain generation of us that have accepted this foolishness. That baby boomer generation, like you say, don't trust them old niggas.
Well, no, them as a group, absolutely. For those of us who are younger and Gen X and Gen Z, for them, it's really going to be a portion of them. For the baby boomer generation, the civil rights generation, they still on that first black stuff. So anything first black. See, that's why Joe Biden and friends keep trotting that phrase out. Ooh, Ketanji Brown Jackson, first black. And so that's what the civil rights generation is still on, is recognition. They don't give a damn if they got to dance a ham bone. They don't care about any of that. The older civil rights generation, in many ways, they're thinking about their response to white supremacy in many ways mirrors the immigrants. Now that you don't have that older generation that's going to butt dance for you in the numbers you need anymore, guess who they're bringing in? So you start seeing parallels between those two things, and it's not accidental. It's not accident. They know who going to respond to what. And this is what that advertisement you're talking about is an attempt to, if there are any dregs that they can still drag and get any mileage out of, that's who that's for.
Well, like I said, with you said it before, that white supremacy is a living organism. It will constantly adjust itself. So we're off the first black stuff now. Now they on this first female stuff now.
Well, first black female.
Right? So they pushing that female line.
Any desperate thing, if it distracts you at all. Right. I mean, there's remember when Joe Biden first came into office, everybody was saying, Jason, is he going to back down? I said, hell no. Watch him go through a rotating list of distractions. Hey, we can't deal with black folk, gotta deal with Asians. Can't deal with black folk, gotta deal with LGBT. Can't deal with black folk, illegals. Ooh, can't deal with black folk, war in Ukraine. And our response to it was very consistent, that we don't care what else is going on, we're staying here. But it hasn't changed the strategy. So no, they're just gonna keep recycling these things. When you say, well, what are they gonna do when they run out of distractions? Recycle them. They're just gonna put it back in rotation again, like songs on the radio.
Yeah, they put it back in rotation. Yeah. They warm it back up and serve it to you again,
and see how many folk fall for it. But there's fewer and fewer every time you do it. So they're getting diminishing returns. That doesn't mean they're not going to keep using it. It does mean that they're like, hey, keep playing that record until a better idea comes along. What's the better idea? At this point, they're running out of ideas. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I didn't say it was going to be as effective every time they replay it, but if it's the only tool you got, if it distracts 35% of the people, 45% of the people, if it distracts them for just one more day, that's 24 more hours you bought yourself. If you can distract them for one more day, that's 24 more hours you bought yourself. You all got to think about it like warfare. That's attrition. If we can spend $2 or $3 million to keep them distracted for just one more day, that's an investment in the future. Just one more day, 24 more hours. What about when you get to tomorrow? Rinse and repeat. Caller from area code 443. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason. This is Craig from Baltimore.
Craig from Baltimore. What's on your mind?
How you been? I love your I love your broadcast. You're on point on everything you're saying. What the world, especially with the female world, really want to see is two people who are popping up, Kamala Harris and Beyonce. They want to see Joe Biden out, Kamala Harris as the president, with Russia, China, and all of America's enemies get ready to pound down us, and a lot of them don't have a clue on how to handle it. And they want Beyonce and the Church of Bay to be the church for the ladies, and they're paying their tithes and offerings to her concert. You got people who can't even afford to maintain their rent, and they try to setting up GoFundMe pages to pay for her silly ass concert. But in the other thing too, another thing that I know a lot about, a lot of friends who are AKAs that's real popular on the upper level, divorce. You hear they married and then they divorce. And I'm like, wait a minute. The old school women, they're into staying with their husband till death do us part. But the new crowd, they just handle divorce like it's some kind of clothing fad or something.
Well, since ancient times, I mean, the Romans built the Colosseum specifically for the purposes of distracting the masses. The Greeks, with plays and so-called philosophy. England and the Globe Theater. So distracting the masses as a tool of control is not new. That's always been used. In our case, and they use it across society now anyway, but I'm concerned about black people. So yeah, they use it on everybody, but I'm concerned about us. I'm concerned about how it affects us. So when I take a look at it through that particular specific lens, I'm taking a look at those kind of things. So when you comprise 90% of the NFL, but 0% of the wealth in the NFL, you're 90% of the workforce, but you are only a percentage point or so of the wealth, if you dare call it that, because the team owners are the ones who got wealth. That means something. Because here's the thing. Modern day sports is one of the only vocations where the employees are equally as distracted as the spectators. Let me say it again. Modern day sports is one of the only arenas where the employees are equally as distracted as the customer / spectator. You see, if you ever been to a high-end jewelry store, when you walk in there, they got security in there. They're wearing their suits and whatnot. Bruh, they ain't dazzled by the jewelry. You're a customer. They're not dazzled by the jewelry. They're the employees, but they're not dazzled. You're dazzled. They're not. I'm just using that as an example. You go to a Prada store. You dazzled by the purses. You rubbing the purses. All right. They're not dazzled. You go to a Lamborghini dealership. The employees are not dazzled. You are, they're not. They'll talk to you about the cars, and I've been to a couple of them, but it's in a very dry, academic type of way. It's all X's and O's and numbers. They're not really enthusiastic. Now, the customers are enthusiastic, but those folks aren't. However, when it comes to professional sports, I'll be damned. The football players are just as geeked as the spectators. No wonder they don't get organized. The football players are just as impressed by their paycheck as the spectators are. The basketball players are just as proud of their jersey as the people who came to the game are. Think about that for a few moments. Big difference between that and what you see in most other places.
True. But if you remember one thing, Steve Coakley did a video called Base Stereo and Evil, and he told us in 96, sports is propaganda.
All the way. It always has been. That's always been. National sports has always been intended as that. That's the way that the United States government has used to get people to emotionally and psychologically transition after, quote, national tragedies. Remember, after 9/11 happened, what was their big priority? Getting the NFL back up and going. It's September. We gotta get the NFL back up and going. After COVID hit, hey, we gotta get the NBA back up and going. Think about that for a few moments. So yes, sports is World War I, World War II. I can go down the list.
Whitney Houston and the national anthem.
Oh yeah, Gulf War I. Yeah, absolutely. That's right. How soon can we get this damn game going back again? To get the national population, we're going to assure them, hey, we just need to take a break for a minute. We got to decompress. We've been through a lot, and that break for a minute never ends. Next thing you know, it's like, you know what? Y'all just keep watching the game. Don't worry about us and these war planes and this black budget and $20 trillion in Afghanistan and the corporations that have been scooping off the top ever since. Don't worry about any of that. You just keep chilling over there in the corner. You just keep chilling. You let us take care of all this other stuff you're not looking at. So, yet they have always used sports. That's why, think about that for a few moments. Sports in the United States, the sports leagues in the United States are the only legal monopoly. As you all know, the NFL is one of the only legal monopolies. You're supposed to break something like that up. That's not supposed to be allowed to be what it is. You're supposed to break the NFL up, and yet they haven't. NFL, MLB, NBA, they are legal monopolies. So when we got antitrust laws that should have prevented these things from ever getting to the height that they're at, and yet we've given exceptions to them specifically. What that when the government steps in and says, oh, you get to run a monopoly, then they must be doing something a hell of a whole lot more important than throwing a football around. They must be doing something else that the government's like, yeah, these are essential workers.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a few minutes, folks.
And football is travel. Yeah. And football is travel. Remember, the New England Patriots versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The freedom fighter versus the governmental system.
If they can keep you distracted, you're not fighting anything. Thank you very much for giving us a call. And you see it in other ways there. We can get a rap show, an award show, Grammys, whatever. They know what they're doing. It's not accidental. Let me get caller from area code 225. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, caller from 225 area code is trying to get some batteries for that smoke detector. Like I say here, folks, these are the folks who are in charge. These are the folks who are in charge. Whole bunch of stuff here. They're letting you know sexual deviancy. They ain't even playing about it anymore. They're just coming straight up the middle and front and saying, hey, this is what it is. Would you like to have a Coke and a smile with us? How many of you come from families where some kinky things were occurring? Hey, and you started to become desensitized to it. You realize that the media isn't even really talking about this like that. You realize that the media is not even talking about it like that. There's a reason for it. Because they're indoctrinating a whole society. They're indoctrinating a whole society. Not just one or two people. This is for everybody. Caller from area code 773. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on? I just want to know.
Okay,
I want to ask
what
one
is
question.
your name?
Where's it? Tony.
And where are you calling from, Tony?
Chicago.
Tony from Chicago. What's on your mind?
I want to know where does the beef stem from with you and
okay, brother.
Really be?
Brother, if you're gonna call us, at least get your damn smoke alarm straightened out. If you're gonna call us,
Yeah, I know. I got to work with that.
no.
Yeah, I want to
no.
know
See,
like what beef.
that's a sign of failure to evolve, dude. That thing is loud enough thing's loud enough to deafen you.
But now I'm gonna step on my patio. Yeah, what are the beef?
Here's what you need to do. You need to worry about getting down to Home Depot or Walmart and squashing your beef with a 9-volt battery. That's what you need to be worried about. Once you get that taken care of, then you can start contacting everybody else here. You need to squash your beef with the smoke alarm. That's the only beef you need to be worried about right now. Your hand-to-hand combat with the 9-volt battery. You need to worry about that. Call from area code 916. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello.
Okay, caller from 916 is very shy and very timid, so y'all, I don't know if she's calling because she's being held hostage. By the way, General Locks, you might have gotten banned by the mods. If you're not able to get through, send me an email, and I'll see about unblocking you there if that's the case. Let me get caller from area code 812. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Pamela in Reno.
All right, Pamela in Reno, what's on your mind?
Yes, I'm sorry?
What is on your mind, Pamela in Reno?
Yeah, what's on my mind is I am an elder I am an AKA, as was my mother. I have been a supporter of Kamala Harris. And as I have learned from watching your program and others, there are generational imperatives in what are the priorities for Black people, it seems to be. That the struggles are the same, but the methods seem like they are continually shifting. And as I get older, I can see that the imperatives of my grandmother's generation are different from that of my mother's, my own, and my children.
Well, let me ask you
Harris.
something about that. Let me ask you something about that.
Yes.
How are you still a soror now?
I am not active, but I have not renounced it.
Okay. How long ago did you become a soror?
Oh, a long time ago. When I was in college.
Right. How
late
many?
70s.
Okay, so 40-something years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Okay, that's a long time to be a soror then. Were they hoes back then too?
Nobody that I know and know of from my generation or my mother's.
What state?
However,
what state did you get installed in?
Indiana University, Bloomington.
Okay, ma'am, you telling me that Indiana back in the 70s was not on and popping? In the 70s,
I'm
ma'am?
sure it was, but
Superfly, cocaine, and everything else. It wasn't on and popping back then, ma'am. Are you really gonna make me Google search this?
You can Google search it if you want to. All I'm saying is that was not a part of my life, nor was it part of my mother's or my sister's. I'm not saying that it didn't exist.
Come on now. It's just us, baby. It's decades later. If you're going to lay it out, you can lay it out now. Come on now. Come on. They didn't start getting their reputation in the 90s. They been had their rep. AKA has been had his rep. It been had his rep before A Different World. They didn't just pick up a rep in the 90s. Come on now.
Well, all I'm saying, no, I'm not arguing, and I am not denying what you're saying. What I am saying is the AKAs of my time and my mother's time, we were the quote-unquote ladies. Do with that what you will. But all of this other kind of trifling hoe-like behavior, yeah, I can see it. It's there.
But Kamala is from your time. But Kamala is from your time. She ain't from she's not from the World War II. She's not from the World War II generation. If you were there in the 70s, she was there.
She is still accomplished. But she is accomplished.
Most AKs are.
And those are the things that we looked at.
But most AKs are. Yeah, most AKs are. Kristen Clark. She's a soror. Most sorors are, quote, accomplished. But they're also in. By the way, is tonight, is it a ritual that everybody calling me tonight? It's got a smoke alarm that's chirping its ass off. Anyway, I'm gonna start handing out 9-volt batteries.
And I can hang up if you need me to.
No. You can stay on. You can stay on the line. No. I want you to.
I've had 3 people come out and they can't fix it.
Well, I want you to send me an email. I'm gonna give you a complimentary 9-volt battery. We can take care of that. But my point is, the sorors didn't start having these issues last week. This has always been the case for a century. This sexual hazing and this sexual culture, that's always been a thing. This isn't something we just stumbled upon recently. So when you say back in the 70s, Kamala Harris was doing it, but the rest of y'all weren't?
In my experience, that behavior was with the fraternities and their little sisters, not so much with the sororities. But I'm sure you know things that I don't.
Ma'am, you were there. Come on now. Come on.
I was there,
this wasn't
but
a
I was
church.
A nursing student,
it wasn't a
social time
church.
was limited.
Yeah, but the point is, it was a sorority, not a church. It was a university, not a church.
Right.
This was the get down.
And it was social.
It sure was. That's the issue. We need less socializing going on over there. As a matter of fact, we would benefit from less socializing. 2 thumbs up. Absolutely. Well, ma'am, like I say, definitely it would be different. If you said the 1950s, maybe I'd rock with it a little bit more. By the 70s, it's Superfly, cocaine, and disco. It's on and popping. It's on and running. By the time we get to the 70s, that's it. You can't do nothing with it. Soul Train and everything else. So, like I say, I can't speak for your personal experience. I will not besmirch a lady's reputation. What I will say is, by the time we get to the 70s, it would have been impossible to miss. Maybe unless you were just in a chapter that basically did not associate with any other chapter. Maybe that's possible.
No, that isn't true.
But even in Indiana, that would have been difficult.
In Indianapolis. But the other thing I wanted to say, and this sort of goes along with what you had said, how is it that the accomplished ones have been torqued into this self-destructive thing and destructive to Black people? Because again, my experience with sororities were these were good people doing good work in their communities and for their people.
Well, okay, let's deal with that phrase.
You know,
let's deal with that phrase. Accomplished. Let's be very, very clear about something. Kamala Harris is not some type of excellent intellectual. She's 2/3 of an airhead bimbo. She's not some smart, brilliant individual. She's not a Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. She's not a Ben Carson, somebody who you sit down and talk to her about the law, and she's just this walking encyclopedia of facts and figures. You know, Justice Souter, she is not. Justice Ginsburg, she is not. She's not some brilliant academician of the law or some legal scholar. She's not Professor Jonathan Turley. This woman is 2/3 of a bimbo. So it's not like people have sat down and said, oh, when you see her in court, she's like Johnny Cochran when she would go in front of the California Supreme Court. No one ever said that about her. District Attorney, Attorney General of California, Senate. Nobody has ever said she was brilliant. When we saw Johnny, you needed to see him one time, and you said, that fella is brilliant. All you needed was one time to see him, and you said, he's not good, he's brilliant. But no one's ever said that about Kamala Harris. And yet, she has been handpicked at every single level since she came out of college to be placed in positions. And now we say accomplished. Well, she's accomplished something, but it isn't excellence in the legal field. She's accomplished at getting promoted, getting passed up, getting moved along, but not on the merits of her legal knowledge. We know that for a fact. It's not based on that. So what is she actually accomplished at? And the sorors who get passed on, looking at you, Kristen Clark, President Biden's Justice Department bedwench.
I was very disappointed in that Kristen Clark thing.
I wasn't. I've been on her bumper for years on Twitter. I've been on her bumper for years. She telegraphed it for years. She was talking a good game, but every time you turn around, she's coming with this Republican stuff, right-wing stuff. And I'm like, okay, but the Democrats are no less guilty, so you cannot tell me that you're objective and the Democrats are being let off the hook all the time. So when she got tapped for it, I said, oh, I'm so glad I've been following you all this time. Here we go. So I'm still in the bumper today. What I'm saying is that these individuals, we're calling them accomplished, and in reality, they were not elected, they were selected to be held up as your accomplished Negro. Hey, look at Ketanji Brown Jackson. Her name never came up anywhere. Never heard of her before Justice Ginsburg died. Now, all of a sudden, they're talking like she's some legal eagle and everybody knows. Only thing she's known for is blocking black workers at Boeing or Lockheed Martin. That's the only thing she's known for. But what she's not known for is being this incredible legal mind. If you all remember, I think Judge Mathis, the whole reason that he got a TV show, as I remember, was he was like the youngest judge ever elected or ever placed on his circuit and had never been overturned on appeal. If I remember correctly, those were his accolades. He was the youngest, and he had never been overturned on appeal. Well, I'll be damned. Those are credentials. You never heard that
impressive.
about Kamala Harris. You never heard that. You never heard of a case that Kamala Harris prosecuted that folks were watching. You never heard that. Ketanji Brown Jackson, that you never heard of a case that she was presiding over that folks were watching and, oh, take a look at this legal eagle. Never that. And yet they keep bringing them out. So when you hear Simone Sanders, oh, she's accomplished. Accomplished at what? She didn't do anything except get booed up with the Clintons back in the 90s when she was a high schooler. So we're saying the words accomplished. We need to start understanding that that's engineered visuals. They're not really accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really accomplished. They are marketed. And then we call they're marketed. This is marketing.
Okay.
But they're not accomplished. They're just selected to be marketed to us. And then we're told that they're accomplished. But let me tell you, when you're dealing with a person who's brilliant, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, you listen to him for a few moments, he's brilliant. Johnny Cochran, he's brilliant. Malcolm X, he's brilliant. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she was brilliant. You just needed a couple of minutes of listening to her. This woman's brilliant. Never had that moment with Kamala. And I respect brilliant people even if I don't get along with them. I respect smart people even if I don't get along with them, even if I am 180 degrees diametrically opposed to everything they're saying. I respect intelligent people. And Kamala Harris isn't an idiot, but she is not eminently competent to get to the level that she's at. So the next question has to be now, how in the hell did you how did you pass through all these gates? Because it sure wasn't on your merits. Then I take a look at her husband at the State of the Union, and I'm saying, oh, so she was...
That's an embarrassment, no doubt.
Yeah, she was willing to do things the rest of us, the rest of you AKs wasn't willing to do. So, ma'am, you could have made it a lot further in life if you had, been willing to loosen up a bit, let it hang out some. You could be you might be vice president. You might have been vice president today. It could have happened. Could have happened.
Well, I am standing in the gap because I absolutely have been a supporter, and
why?
We all fall short.
But why?
Thank you.
But wait, you said you were a supporter of hers, but why? What did you see that made you a supporter?
What I saw that made me a supporter was the fact that she did grow up among Black people in California during a lot of the civil rights era. And she and her mother were sort of on the scene during some of that. And that she...
when? Well, they were on the scene.
I guess at the
they were
time,
on the... Okay, you said they were...
as
You
Black.
said they were on the scene for what exactly?
Just attending the marches, attending some of the organizational meetings and that sort of thing when she was quite young. Her parents were.
Kamala Harris was attending marches?
I think so. There were some pictures of her in her little stroller.
Okay, thank you. So,
and her mom was...
Okay, ma'am, do you hear what you're saying here? So you telling me that Kamala Harris picked up her stroller and rolled down to a protest? Come on now.
No, I'm saying that.
Right, I'm putting it in its proper context. I'm aware of what you're saying, which is why I'm saying, hey, let's clarify what you're saying. What you're saying is a true fact of the facts of the matter. Yeah, Kamala Harris was in a stroller. But wait a minute. But now that's implying that she chose to be there. So no, she was not in a stroller and said that little story she like to tell, Mama, freedom. Man, that's right up there with the Tupac story. So no, Kamala Harris was not in her stroller talking about no freedom. She's probably in her stroller talking about Willie. But in any case, my point is, sorry everybody, just forget that one. My point is that, yeah, her mother might have been somewhat active. her mother might have been somewhat active because that was a trendy thing to do at the time. But then again, Sarah Palin was laying up with the brothers in college. So this is one of these things that we have to sit here and separate the real from the phony. That her mama, that back then, that was the civil rights movement was the preeminent social movement. It was setting the world on fire, and everybody wanted to be a part of it. Like rap music, they wanted to be a part of it. So it was the chic in fashion thing to do. Some of the women took it even further and said, you know what, I'm going to take this to the next level. Let me get me a black husband. And Kamala Harris's mother was one of those people. And we're just calling it for what it is. I'm not going to try to speak to her sincerity. I'm not speaking to that. But what I am saying is the daughter was raised primarily by the mom. The daughters identify as Asian. And let's be very, very, very super heavy clear. When Kamala Harris won the Attorney General in California, she said she was Asian. And I'm in Louisiana with them talking about California has elected its first Asian American Attorney General. And then its first Asian American female senator. I was in Louisiana hearing those headlines from ABC and CNN. The first Asian female. Then I actually saw the woman. And I was like, are you sure? Now at that time, I'm like, oh, we're not talking about the Orient anymore in China and Japan and things. Now we just stretch it over to India. Okay, fine, you can get away with that. But Asian, I'm still like, okay, I'm gonna spot you that one, but still Asian? This is Asian.
You're clarifying some things for me.
Right up until she wanted to become vice president, then she's bringing out the stroller story and freedom and Chuck Taylor's, and I listened to Tupac in college, and she is so bereft of any black credentials, she had to try to make them up on the fly. And then I showed, I think her communications manager, Lily Adams, the white girl. I'm like, I said, this all sounds like some white person wrote these lines for her. Then I saw her communications manager, Lily Adams. Oh, y'all, I remember the names. Blonde hair, blue eyes. I said, oh, that's who gave that to you. Yeah, because she doesn't know any better. She doesn't know. So you have no idea what we as black people do. The only person who could give you the words was a white girl, and she doesn't know because she's too young. The white girl was too young not to mess up the dates. That was the problem. The white girl gave her the words, but she was too young herself and too inexperienced not to mess up and screw up the dates. So Kamala walked out there and made a fool of herself. But the reason she made a fool of herself is because she doesn't have any black credentials. She doesn't have any connection to black people. She was raised as a Brahmin Indian. She was raised. Y'all have seen here before when I put the pictures up of her and her family. And as a young woman, that wasn't no damn joke. She was raised Brahmin. She was raised Brahmin. That wasn't no joke. So the whole they've always known what that was. And that was something that once again, that's why I say it was marketed. It was marketed and sold, and you were sold on the idea that, well, this is a sister girl. And how bad could it be? And the real issue that we got to start taking is, hey, we got to start vetting people. We got to start vetting them. Barack Obama showed you the extent to which the white political structure depends on black people to just sit up here and take things at first blush and keep walking. And they tried to run the same play again with Kamala Harris. Hey, just take this at first blush and keep walking. And then this time we surprised them and said, nah, we need to check the paperwork. And the paperwork came back dirty. Now, here's the killing part about it. The paperwork continues to come back dirty. Every Christmas, she keeps talking about Kwanzaa. Let me get this straight. Brahmin Indian married to Jewish male is talking about not during Christmas season, is talking about Kwanzaa. Baby, you trying too damn hard to check all the boxes. You're trying too damn hard.
That's too much.
There is absolutely no way that this person is real. Now, this is after, hell, she just did it a few weeks ago. In 2022, she back with the Kwanzaa thing. She ain't gonna let it go. Because she doesn't have anything. You know why? Because there is no Brahmin Indian population in America of any consequence to speak of. If there were, she'd be taunting that. She's not Buddhist, so she can't use that Asian connection. So as far as holiday season, there is no appreciable Brahmin Indian community that you can leech off of. So she got to go for something else. All of a sudden, Christmas and Kwanzaa for a woman who was raised as a Brahmin. Everything's phony. So that's what I'm saying. It started phony and it never stopped. That was my point. She started phony. In reality, it's never quit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Lot to learn here.
Thank you for all that explanation.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Like I say, you can't let folks sit up here and play on your darker urges and ski-wee and, hey, sister girl, you know, we different than them black men's over there. No, as black men, we are the protector class. We're the warrior class. We look out for threats. And when we tell you, hey, this chick over here ain't right, you just hating. Okay, you can sit up there and hop on that damn Trojan horse if you want to. This chick ain't right. This chick ain't right. Then we fell back first. Next thing you know, it's been downhill ever since. Caller from area code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Jonathan. I'm calling from Los Angeles.
All right, Jonathan from Los Angeles. What's on your mind?
Unfortunately, we keep falling for the BS. Kamala Harris is doing the same thing that Mindy Kaling's brother did. Mindy Kaling's brother lied about being black so he could fake his way into medical school. They believed it, and we're believing that Kamala Harris is black when in reality she's a Brahmin Indian, and Brahmin Indians hate the elite Indians. Why? Because the elite Indians have the same exact melanin as us. Point number two. Oh, great! I forgot point number two.
The good news is Kamala Harris doesn't have any black support widespread anymore. She has already abandoned the idea of running for president. It's over. It's done. So at least that got accomplished. Thank you very much for giving this call. No, Kamala's not running for president. That was done. It was done in 2020, to be totally honest. Y'all remember that I said back then, how many of you remember that I said in 2020 that Joe Biden is making her vice president and he's going to hang every failure around her neck. He made her the border czar. The border has been a catastrophe ever since. They send her out to just do picnics and photo shoots, and she's all awkward and crazy. Tyree Nichols, remember last week? Tyree Nichols' funeral service. Kamala Harris wasn't a fish out of water. She was a fish in a jar of sugar. That was how crazy it was. She was a fish in a sand pit. So no, what she's looking for now is a Netflix deal. That's what Kamala Harris is holding out for now. She knows she's not going to the White House. Right now, she's just holding out to say, hey, can I get one of them Michelle Obama Spotify or Netflix deals? If I keep my nose clean, can I get one of those? And if that don't work, is there an OnlyFans? Call from area code 757. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Tanya from Virginia Beach.
Tanya from Virginia Beach. What's on your mind?
I went to school at the same time as the lady who just called, in the same era, in 81. And I went to school with some famous people like Debbie Allen, Howard University, Jesse Jackson, and Desmond Tutu's daughter. What was on campus? Jaguars, Brooks Brothers, and orgies. It was ridiculous. Okay, that was the order of the day. And then as far as
Spike
AKA
Lee,
is concerned,
Spike Lee School Days. There was a
Yes.
reason he made School Days.
Yes. In regards to my my roommate, she pledged. I went to the pledge week with her, and I watched her pledge AKA. And I couldn't understand why. Here we are with Howard at the top of the hill, the White House at the bottom, the poverty in the middle. Why would you allow sorors to hit each other and beat each other up for you to call my sister? Why couldn't we do community service? We are surrounded by a whole community that needs something, and black people are playing stupid games with each other. So that's why I didn't pledge.
Because
And I
that's
just wanted to bring
because
that
that's buck breaking. When the real thing is when you allow someone to violate you, that causes trauma bonding. Because you don't want the rest of the world to know about that. See, you can have intimate experiences that have nothing to do with being sexually penetrated. And in many ways can be worse. Think about that with children. Think about how children sit up here and stick by their abusive parents. We've known about this since before Freud. So they take you in and whatnot, and they do something to you that nobody else has done. And basically you wind up sticking with them because this is a unique violative experience. So now you end up getting turned out is what happens. You end up getting turned out. Only you weren't turned out sexually. You weren't turned out sexually. The other thing is, you know, these chicks get together and then they bring you someplace. And there was another scandal as well. That was I want to say it was Indiana also. There was another fraternity, Gamma something. I want to say it's a white fraternity, but they had a black chick who they were trying to get up in there, and she was like, "Oh, I ain't going for this," because basically they were the word that means the same thing as cocaine and oral sex. Strong wind. They were like strong wind or strong wind. So they're like, you can either snort this cocaine or you can go off in this room with these dudes over here. So she's there with a bunch of white girls, presumably. They were getting ready to do some butt breaking, and she said, not for me. And then she blew the whistle on it. And just understand that that's the process. These females, it's your thinking is going to be like Madam C.J. Walker, and instead, it's going to be like Madam Heidi Fleiss. And it's butt breaking. Once they put you through that, it's like pimps. Once you get turned out, that's it. Once you get turned out, that's it, man. You can't be a 19-year-old female and get stretched out by 3 men or 1 chick. And you're the same person. You are going to be fundamentally changed after that experience. You cannot have nobody shove your face between another woman's. Well, anyway, you can't have nobody do that. And you're the same you come out of that room the same person. You are somebody different now. And maybe you'll learn to cope with it. But the bottom line is you're a different person. So when we took for the infamous video, remember that infamous video that was going around 6-7 years ago? I forget if it was the Kappas or who it was. Q-Dogs, was it? Them fellas with their pants down, line dancing all up on each other with their pants down and their rear ends exposed. Y'all remember that one? They in a big auditorium, they big and sweaty all up on each other. It's like, hey, what part of the initiation is this? So what is that meant to do? Whose idea was that? And what are you trying to accomplish with this specific gesture? And it's very clear what you're trying to accomplish. This is butt breaking. This is violating. If I can violate you and still get you to see that violation as a badge of honor, don't you know I got you locked down for life? Why, I got you thinking that this is something sophisticated and higher minded. But then again, Pimp said run that game on hoes all the time. Oh, baby, you're in the prostitute, you higher minded. Folk been saying that forever. Allowing yourself to get sexually turned out is elevating yourself. Hell, they're trying to tell the children now. So this has been going on for a minute. That's why I was telling her, baby, you was there in the 70s. Come on now. The 80s, Spike Lee didn't make School Days for nothing. That had been going on. We've been seeing it. I just want us to go ahead and acknowledge that so you can see, by the way, they didn't grab this woman out of nowhere. They didn't grab her out of nowhere. Y'all know full damn well ain't no black woman code allows your husband to do this. There is no black woman code that allows your husband to do this. Nothing. Nothing. If it's okay for your husband to kiss another woman on the lips, then what's the significance of it when he kisses you? If every other woman is eligible for the same thing, what's the significance of it for you? How is it special for you? What does it mean for you if he can do this with anybody? And it has the same significance. Or it has no significance at all. So kissing Jill Biden on the lips don't mean nothing? Well, then kissing you doesn't mean anything. It can't. And so I want everybody to understand that when you talk about Kamala Harris and Joe Biden in the bathtub with his damn daughter, Kamala Harris's husband putting it on display, man, look here. Y'all don't, we're going to find out from some book somewhere from some Secret Service agent exactly what the hell been going on at the White House for the last 2 years. That's when we're going to find out. Oh my goodness, a senior citizen sexcapade. Good grief. I'll let you have the last word.
I'm just enjoying your broadcast. Thank you so much, B1.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. B1 as always. Yeah, y'all, boy, a bunch of senior citizens running around the White House naked. Not naked, but naked. Boxers or briefs. They trying to wear the Victoria's Secret and it ain't fitting right. Cellulite and crow's feet every damn where. Joe Biden don't know if he's going to the bedroom or the bathroom. He don't know which way to go. Where's Jill? Vote, re-elect me. Re-elect me. Folks, you better start thinking about the people you're voting for and electing the people you're supporting. You better think about this. This isn't some joke. This isn't some game. And this isn't me taking it out of context. Welcome to the White House orgy. And by the way, if this... Let me go ahead and throw that up one more time for you here. If this is what is expected of Joe Biden's wife or Doug Emhoff's wife, Kamala Harris, if this is what the political establishment expects of those women, what do they expect of yours? That's the question I want to leave you all with here tonight. If this is what they expect of each other's women, what do they expect of yours? You come to Washington trying to get something done and nobody's listening here. If they expect this of their women, what exactly are they expecting from your woman? What are they expecting from you? By the way, what do they expect from you? Jason Black, you say you shouldn't vote for these folk. What are you voting for? I'm voting for black empowerment. You can never go wrong. Can never go wrong. I'm voting for black empowerment, not people or personalities. I don't vote for people or personalities. I vote for the agenda. And I can recognize when something stinks. And the rest of you better also, because these are the people who want to make it okay for the schools to talk to your kids, your 4-year-olds, about sex and being penetrated and same sex and everything else. These are the same folks who want to do that. Pay attention. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. And if you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go there and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Race War, all available on DVD and streaming. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I want to send a special thanks for tonight to the new B1 Media is a lifesaver. Thank you very much for supporting tonight's program. And Veronica in the super chat, thank you very much as well. Please consider CashApp or PayPal there, because YouTube's going to keep a lot of that. But I appreciate your support no matter how you do it. And I want to thank all of you for joining us here tonight. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.